We are here for another episode of Business After Dark here at Cultura Media House. And today we have DJ Chizzle with us. He's a reputable travel DJ, and we'll go with that terms for the sakes of the conversations, but we're going to unpack what exactly that means. So the business of the day would be DJing. And with us is DJ Chizzle. So thanks for being here, man.
What's going on, guys? Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah, bro. It's going to be, I think, one that's going to have a lot of value exchange, and one that I think all types of DJs are going to be able to learn something from, whether you're aspiring to get started as a DJ or already working as a DJ. And I think what I want to start is naturally, what's DJ Chizzle's story, right? We'll start with born in what city, raised in what city?
Man, so I'm born and raised in Fort Lauderdale.
Nice.
Lived near Sawgrass for 18 years. Then ended up going to UCF for college.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, so that's where my DJ journey started. Basically, bought 2 turntables, 2 techniques. Went away to college. It was like the biggest party school in the country.
So UCF's in Orlando, right?
Yeah, Orlando. So
party time.
And so how the journey started was just in my room, learning how to use the techniques. The turntables on Scratch Live at the time. And then it was just a slow, organic growth where I was teaching myself. Then it would be pool parties.
What year was this?
So I graduated high school in 2009. So like 2009, 2010,
Sweet.
like that era. And then I started out doing pool parties. Then I joined a fraternity.
Okay.
And DJ the fraternity parties, the sorority parties. Then it was the college bars, and just escalated from that, like all over Orlando. So I did like the big nightclubs, and it was just like a slow growth. You know what I mean?
What was the big nightclub at the time? Was Tier open or?
Man, so I was doing Tier. That was a little down the road a few years later.
Okay.
I was doing Tier on Friday nights at the time.
Sick.
But I was mostly focused on all the UCF stuff. Like I DJ'd for the school. I was employed by the school as well.
Oh, sick.
So I was DJing, doing the mixes for the football games. I was the official DJ for the basketball team.
Nice.
And that's when like Marcus Jordan was on the team, and that's how I built like the relationship with these people. So I was like DJing courtside for the home games.
That's real cool, because most people build their relationships like in the club, right? The artist or the celebrity that's there, and you're able to do it, still DJing, but like in a less nightclub setting, which I think would be easier to like connect with people and have a common ground, right? Like you have UCF as this common thing to talk about.
Exactly.
So that's actually really cool. You mentioned you taught yourself. What are some things that you used to learn how to DJ? Was YouTube University a thing, or did anybody teach you? Like, did you have a mentor, whether it was in person or maybe digital? Like, how did that work?
So the person that got me to buy my turntables was my boss in high school. He was a DJ. He's the one that kind of led the way. He showed me a few tricks here and there and kind of led me on the right path.
Enough to get you interested, but not like necessarily teach you how to do it.
Exactly.
Super sick.
I would basically it was just effort. You know what I mean? I was watching YouTube videos and then just pretty much self-taught.
Okay.
And then really it was going out at the time as a young kid and learning from the other DJs, just watching them, just like the little techniques that they do and the way they move.
What were some of the dudes back then, right? Like who was doing it back then?
Man, I'm gonna shout him out. He's one of my best friends today, DJ Devastator. That's my brother for life. I looked up to him at the time. He was the main person too, I would say.
Was he Orlando raised, or was he there for school too?
Yeah, in Orlando.
Okay, that's sick.
He's from Tallahassee, but he was
Holy shit, who leaves Tallahassee for school, bro? Come on.
No, excuse me. He was from Jacksonville. My bad.
That makes more sense. That makes more sense. And question about UCF. There was no DJ curriculum, right? So what were you doing in UCF?
Man,
as far as school?
So I have an interesting story with school. So I went in. Just like every other student, you go in there, you're undecided. You're an 18-year-old kid. You don't know what you want in life.
At all.
To this day, we're still growing and learning as human beings. You know what I mean? Like, we're all on our own journey. So I went in undecided. Then I went for, like, health sciences, like that pre-med, like, health path, like that. But it was pretty much just, like, doing what you need to do in school, checking that off the list, and just enjoying your life at the time.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. I have to get this done type of thing.
Exactly.
So, and did that journey finish? Were you able to finish UCF?
Man, yeah, dude, I graduated. I went to college for a long time, actually. Like, not a lot of people know this, but I got my doctorate degree, too.
No shit.
I went for 4 years, and then if we're going to forward it a little bit, then I moved back down south home, and I went to Nova for 4 years.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What kind, like, I don't know how it exactly works in the doctorate world, but like, doctor in what form?
I went for like health sciences, and then so I graduated 4 years, and then I went for pharmacy school.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to pharmacy school. To be real, didn't really have an interest in it. It was just one of those, like, I was always book smart. I was always good at just getting stuff done. So I just kind of just like
secure career path, and
exactly.
At that age, that's what you kind of go for, right?
Exactly. So I graduated. Dude, I went to school for almost like 8 to 10 years, bro.
It's
a journey.
Fucking crazy.
I would DJ and then wake up at like 8 a.m. for an exam. It'd be like on some Superman vibes where you're just like dripped out at nighttime, and then I'd be like in the lab coat during the day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And did your teachers know that you were Mr. Nightlife type of thing, or?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so, man.
Man, why does it smell like tequila in this fucking lab, dude?
That's exactly what it was.
Every 8 a.m. lab, it's like tequila smell. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like,
I do want to take a step back, though, and say this. So when I first started DJing, like when I was young at UCF, this is how my first nightclub gig came about. So I did a happy hour event, and happy hour went smooth. They're like, yo, good job, kid, whatever. Then there was a spot called Deco at the time.
Okay.
And I guess the DJ, he didn't show up. He was late, whatever the circumstances was. And then they go, hey, are you able to do Deco tonight? Granted, this is a Friday night at the hottest spot in UCF, and at the time, that's like the pinnacle at the time. So I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. And then I DJ'd that Friday night at Deco, and that's what really helped me expand and grow. And the wildest part of this is 2010, had to be 2010, 2011. You know who the general manager of Deco at the time was?
Who was that?
AD.
No shit.
Shout out to Adam Dunn, bro.
That's funny. I didn't know he was from Orlando?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
I didn't know
to this day, he was the first person, like the first GM I ever really had, bro.
That's wild.
And here we are now, like 15 years later, man?
Yeah, I didn't take him for an Orlando guy. If I had, he's got that college bro vibe, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm probably a fraternity guy or whatever, but I pictured like UF or FSU.
Yeah.
So the fact that it was UCF, that's really cool. On that top, and I'll let you read the question, by the way. You answered my next question without me asking it.
Wow.
So you fucked me up, but you're going to have to think of another one. So before I get to that question, I wanted to ask, I'm going to assume, I might be right or wrong, that you started DJing in college probably because of the girls and the party and like, hey, this is pretty cool, right?
1000%.
At what point did you say, I'm going to take this serious, right? Like maybe it's not just about the girls and the partying and getting the good picture. I guess back then was Facebook. At what point did you say like, fuck pharmacies, like I don't want to be a doctor. Like I'm going to take this more serious, right? And what did that transition or journey look like? Man,
so that didn't hit me until I moved back to South Florida.
Okay.
And the doors open and the opportunities open more. Because at the time, for a college kid, I'll be fully transparent and open. You're making like $40,000 as a college student. You're balling out, bro.
Which is
like
great.
You're doing fantastic. But at the time in Orlando too, like that was the cap.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that was the maximum. And I'm like, why am I gonna do something for $40K a year when I could do something like be a doctor or something for triple that?
Right.
You know what I mean? But then, so it wasn't until I moved back home to Fort Lauderdale, Miami, where then more opportunities opened up. And it was like, basically, it was pretty much starting over again. I still knew people and they helped me like network and get inside different rooms and doors, but you're still starting fresh because you're in a new city.
Right.
And what really did it, I would say, was when I started DJing at 11.
Okay.
When I DJed at 11 and like a few of the other like hot spots was when I saw there was more of an abundant mindset and more doors opened. And then I'm like, I could actually do this full time. Like, this could be my career.
That's awesome, man. Those moments, I call them the aha moment, right? Like, wait a minute, I could just do this in this type of way, and it could be a little more serious.
Exactly,
That's
bro.
awesome, dude. And so my question that you answered without me asking, I'm gonna read it just so we can laugh. I want to know about a situation where you were given an opportunity that was unexpected. However, you were ready for it, so you got something out of it. And the whole point is basically delivering the message to our viewers, right, our listeners, on how important it is to be prepared, right? Can you talk a little bit about that process, even with that same story, or if you have a better story in the sense of like, I would have never thought tonight I was doing XYZ, and then I get a phone call, and then, or, you know, I would have never thought I would be on the road, and then I get a phone call from so-and-so, and now I'm on a 15-city tour, and it's like, what the fuck, right? Like, but most people, when they get an opportunity like that, they fumble the bag, right? Because it's new to them, or they let the excitement kind of overpower the quality that they're putting out, and it doesn't seem to be like that's what happened with you, right? You were able to benefit from opportunities and take advantage of them so that you can propel yourself forward, right? So
1000%.
Talk about that a little bit. If you have another type of situation, great, but if not, just talk overall, like, how important is it to be prepared for a DJ out there listening that's waiting for their big break?
Man, the quote to live by, and I still live by this, is stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Hell yeah.
You always have to be ready. You always have to be prepared, because something that I've learned upon this life journey, not even just DJing, is when you're ready for that opportunity, they always come at you when it's least expected.
Yep.
When it's least expected. You can be going on your daily path and think it's going to go straight in this line, but things are going to get fired at you. And that's when you have to just be ready to catch it and embrace it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's with every opportunity in life, because it's like those most important phone calls or those most important texts for gigs and stuff are the ones that, like, you're not expecting to get. And those are actually, like, to this day,
at the time
for
that
me,
you didn't want to get it.
Yeah, for me, every huge opportunity was least expected and kind of just thrown at me, where I had to make that decision.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Whether it being like, if we can jump ahead, it was like DJing for Austin Mahone as his tour DJ. That was something that kind of just got, like, you know, thrown at me, and I had to be ready to, you know, I had to stay ready for it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
At that time, were you traveling some to different venues in different cities, or were you like predominantly local?
I would say a little bit of both. I was living in Miami, South Florida at the time, and then that's when that opportunity got brought to me.
So I'm sure, you know, for lack of better words, there was some bullshit travel gigs. You know, you were doing it because it's new and you were traveling, but that was you getting ready for the opportunity, right?
That's what it was.
Learning how to pack in you know, in speed, and what do you really need to take, because you go on vacation, you take 4 bags, right? You end up using the same black t-shirt 6 days a week, right? It's like ridiculous. Knowing how to pack. I know some certain DJs on the roster, they had it down to a science where their DJ bag had the zipper on the bottom for their shoes, and they would just take a DJ bag and they're ready, right? For any one-day trip. It's just like everything had a place, right?
Yeah.
So I can see how taking some of those less I don't know, cool opportunities, but doing it because it's new to you and you want to, you know, take these opportunities.
Yeah, to help you grow and network and meet people in the city. Because the one thing about those too, I will say, is like those people that you meet back in the day, like that I met, there's still people around that I'm like networking with, and like can be from the bar back to the GM.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's always like that. So,
and you're almost growing with them, right? The bar back grew to a floor manager as you grew from a local guy to a travel guy, and now there's that respect. And then now he's the general manager, so he wants to reach out and book you because you're the guy that grew as he was looking at that, you know, pendulum kind of or journey, right?
Exactly.
So, I want to transition this now into, we spoke about like opportunities, which is amazing. My transition would be now on lessons. Is there a lesson that sticks out that DJ Chizzle learned the hard way? Why I point this out, I'll give you some time to think about it. You know, to me, lessons are rarely free, right? They kind of cost something, whether it cost you an opportunity or cost you a chance at XYZ or cost you some money because you messed up and now it takes money to fix it. So it's always kind of like a cost to these lessons. So if we're able to provide value on this podcast for someone listening, not to have to go through that lesson because they learned it here, that's a home run to me, right? So what is like a lesson that you had to learn the hard way that you would want one listener out there to prevent from having to go through?
I would say this is a life lesson, and I'm still going through it, is treat everybody with the utmost respect.
Nice.
Because you don't know who is who. You do not know who is who, who's related to who's so-and-so's dad, uncle, cousin, who can own a spot in the middle of Japan or something, and then you kind of brush them off and you treat them like they're a nobody. Those could be the most important people in your life. So treat the janitor like the CEO the same way, because when you treat everybody with respect, it goes a long way.
That's an amazing lesson, man. And Rockwell has, we call it the 10 code. We got, 10 codes that we kind of operate and live by. It's like our culture. And one of them is, don't burn a bridge. And, you never know what one day you'll have to cross again. Because time and time again, especially in nightlife, not so much more restaurants and things, but in nightlife, that janitor is the GM 2 years later.
Exactly.
Like, because he's the one that knows the grounds the best. He's the one that understands the operation. He's seen it from inside out. And they get these opportunities. And then it's like, oh, I remember how you used to treat me. Yeah, fuck off.
Exactly.
Right? And it's like, you don't know who's going to be what in due time.
The one thing about this DJ world, too, is it's actually just everything in life. The way you treat people goes so much further than everything.
Yes.
It goes so much further, because when people like you as a human being and they like you as a person, that's what matters more than anything.
That's crazy.
More than anything, man. You could be the best DJ in the world, but you're just like not friendly and you're not a good person. People see right through it.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, even me, I'd rather give the person that's like a better human being and has good standards and morals than somebody who's like a better DJ. I'd put that person up top.
100%.
Because I'd rather be around them.
So do I. I'd rather work with them.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, when you're booking someone, that's what you're doing. You're choosing to work with them.
Exactly.
In a previous episode, I never know what order these are coming out, but in the last episode, but I don't think it's the last episode, I got to sit down with Zaya and we spoke about Rockwell. And there was a point in that episode where we pointed out what is 3 things a DJ needs to have, right? And my order was be a good person first.
Facts.
Right? Be professional second, right? Because you can be the best DJ in the world, but if you're always 15 minutes late, I can't book you, right?
Exactly.
Because now I'm getting that phone call at 10 o'clock at night. Where's the DJ? And that's not what I want to be putting up with. So
100%.
if you make me go through that, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. And then third is be a good DJ, right?
It's facts.
Because if you have 10 good DJs in the room and one of them is a good person and professional and the other 9 are just good DJs, you go with that one out of that has the other 2 characteristics, right? So I always try to sneak that in, because this isn't an industry that's like traditionally like if you're a basketball player, your agent does most of the talking.
Yeah.
Right? All you got to do is smile, shake hands, and be a good person.
Yeah.
But you kind of don't even need to be professional. Your agent makes you professional.
Yup.
In this industry, you're the lone wolf, where you got to be the whole package.
Whole
right?
package, man.
The whole package. So I want to transition this convo now, because it's a perfect opportunity to do so, from DJ Chizzle to industry. The entertainment industry, obviously primarily talking about DJs. So in 2024, what are some things that would characterize a good DJ? Like, what makes a good DJ in 2024? If you asked this in 1990s or early 2000s, it'd probably be your technique, your scratching ability, X, Y, and Z. That's changed, right? Like every other industry once social media came out. So in today's day, what makes a good DJ? The whole package. What are things you have to have?
I would say your branding in every atmosphere is everything. Your brand and the way you conduct yourself is everything. Social media is extremely important. The way you dress, the way you present yourself, the way you speak to others. If you're posting like great photos, videos, some recaps, mixes. Nowadays, it's like 360. You have to do it all, man. Are you releasing music or not? Remixes. Are you up to date with like all the newest music coming out? And then on top of that, it's how you conduct yourself as a human being. And like I said, how you present yourself, how you dress. Are you dressed the part? Are you showing up to the gigs looking clean? You know what I mean? Are you talking to everybody kind? Are you showing interaction on social media to the club managers and just promoting your events? Basically, if there is DJ A and DJ B, DJ A, if you're going to put in the more effort, if you're going to post about the gigs, you're going to promote your events, do some like tour flyers and stuff, he's going to have the advantage over the DJ who's just a good DJ because he's putting in the more effort. And that's key.
I agree big time. I started using these words in the beginning of last year, and I seem to like can't get rid of them. Added value.
Added value.
You have to be more than whatever it is you are, right? If you're the best doctor in Miami, you got to find a way to make sure everybody knows you're the best doctor. It's no longer being the best doctor. Back in the day, that was good enough because word of mouth would get you all the right clients. Nowadays, it's like in any industry you are, it more of a full 360 package when it comes to being a thing, right? Or a brand. And so I want to ask you, does that make DJs, because the way you described it, if we were to like look at it as a business, are DJs entrepreneurs then now?
I would say 100% we're entrepreneurs.
Because
100%.
Because you described to me, like if I look at Rockwell, right, our departments would entail of accounting, marketing. In marketing, then you have outreach, promotions, digital ads, things of that nature. You got management. You got your agent or your sales, right? Your booking department, and the list goes on. You kind of broke it down where like Chizzle has his PR, side, right? His ad side, his brand side. So that's marketing, outreach, management, self-management. If you don't have a full-time agent, you're your own booking agent. You're your own graphic designer. I mean, you're basically everything. So the question was, is it an entrepreneur role? And I would highly say it is. And I don't know if DJs are actually looking at it that way.
It's 1,000% an entrepreneur role because you're doing it all. Nowadays, it's not just like going home and even when I started, it was like, this is pre-Instagram. You would go, you would download music, you would organize your library, set your cue points, and the main focus was the music. To be real, now the music took more of like a back seat, and I'm not saying to not be a great DJ or not be up to date with the music because that's always keep the main thing the main thing.
Right, it's
music.
a must.
But what I'm saying is the social media presence, your promotion, what's going to separate you from the pack. Even who you bring out is a key because if I got one guy who's bringing out the NBA player from the Phoenix Suns and he's going to come and spend $5,000 and then I got the other guy who's not really bringing anybody out, who am I going to book?
Added value, the guy that's coming with the table.
Who's the guy that's going to bring all the hot girls or who's the person that's not?
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like that's how you get booked in today's world, and it's all added value. What you're going to bring to the club, What you're
going to bring to the table when it comes to business. I love to point out and before I do anything, I want to point out how amazing you've done in the sense of Chizzle's marketing and brand, right? I mean, as a good example, if you go to Chizzle's Instagram, like you see how a DJ should portray him or herself in the lane you're in, right? That nightclub, travel, open format world. If you're trying to be the next, cool, trendy, look at my skill, then it's a different game, right? You would probably have less recap videos and more routine videos and things of that nature. But I did want to give you your flowers on that.
Thank
because
you, brother.
It looks the part. Like
I appreciate that.
Like it's not like you're trying to make it look good. You're making it look good.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's not, necessarily easy, right? So in your opinion, then where I want to take this next then is, what do you feel is missing from the DJ industry in 2024? Like, we've gone down a journey that this is a different industry than it was 15, 20 years ago. So if we're in a different ball game, right? If we're now playing a different sport in a different arena, what's missing from this sport or arena that would make this, a better sport?
Man, I would just say separating yourself from the pack. we need more people to innovate and be different.
Oh, I love this.
Than try to do the same thing and look at other people for inspiration instead of finding inspiration from within and from outside sources of the music world.
Yes.
Because I'm just going to keep it real. A lot of DJs, and this isn't just open format, this is just like EDM route, whatever route you're in, they're all kind of following each other and doing the same thing. And even their social media presence, it's like the same thing. Like a lot of the big EDM guys are just trying to be all comedians right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like, that's cool. It's funny. It makes me laugh. But like, you all are trying to do the same thing. Like, be different. Stand out from the pack. Be original. You know what I mean? Be yourself. That's all it's about. Because like in 2024, we can see like right through all the fake, man.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I would just say like, authenticity and being real and just being innovative from within.
I love that, man. And I couldn't agree more. And I want to add on to that selfishly. You know, I'm the one that's supposed to ask questions. But I'm going to answer this one. Okay. I think there's a standard issue. I think there's a lack of standard. There is, and a lack of definition, right? And I'll unpack this. And this might get boring. I don't give a shit because I want to have this conversation with you.
This is real and authentic.
Okay,
I love it.
So let's take 16-year-old Bryan. Okay, I'm 5'7", so I knew I was never going to be in the NBA. But when I was 16, I really wanted to be in the NBA. Right. And every day I would wake up, put my shoes on, do those free throws, run my drills, do my stuff. Right. Because when you were 16, if you liked basketball, let's just say you did. Who'd you want to be like? Michael Jordan. The answer is fucking Michael Jordan.
100%.
Okay? And depending on how old or young you are, it's either Michael Jordan, LeBron James happens to be, you know, there on that list. Not one of my favorites, but he's definitely there. And then in between is the Kobe Bryant.
Kobe, yeah.
Right? So you had your Michael Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, depending on what era you come from. But there's a GOAT to look at. There's a greatest of all time in your perspective to look at. Which means when you get to look at someone that's doing something at the highest standard, it pushes you to want to do it at a higher standard because there's something to compare to.
Exactly.
You're making me look stupid. So I want to get better to look less stupid.
Right.
Right? And so at 16, the Zayas, the Pauls, right? My homies that were DJs back then, you could like tell that they wanted to like follow DJ AM's path.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
There was an AM out there. $1 million residency at the Palms. Like Las Vegas, what? That's only EDM DJs. Open format guys can't do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he could. And he came out on shows like Entourage, and he got known for being the shoe guy, and then this, and then that. And none of that had to do with his DJing, right?
It was the hot girlfriend.
The hot girlfriend. Check out the car, the XYZ, right? Like, and I feel like the industry's missing that today. If I ask 16-year-old, you know, new Bryan, hey, you want to be a DJ growing up? Oh, that's awesome. Who do you look up to right now? Well, you know, I got this YouTube channel. This guy's pretty good. And then I got like this other guy. And bro, my friend put me on to 4 Color Zach the other day. He's fucking crazy, man. He's got a unique style. I like that, you know. But like, yeah, I guess they're cool. Where's the DJ AM answer? Where's the Michael Jordan answer? Like, who's the fucking GOAT right now?
That's true.
Right? And so there's a lack of standard. The standards are set so low that nobody wakes up wanting to do better than yesterday. Everybody's just maintaining.
That's true.
I'm maintaining my residencies. I'm maintaining my travel schedule. I'm maintaining my brand by updating my logo and my press kit. But nobody's coming out and saying, I'm going to start this new fucking Reels series that is going to be, you know, me DJing with my feet because I'm fucking going to show you guys how good I am, that I'm better with my feet than you guys with your hands.
Exactly.
And nobody's doing that.
And that's innovating and being creative, man.
So I think there's a lack of standard there. And then the second part to that is I think there's a lack of definition. All right?
Facts.
And I'm going to unpack that, again, selfishly.
I love this.
I'm going to give you all these names. Diplo. Chizzle. Conflict. Zilla. And give me a working DJ. And Eddie Mancito. If I asked a room of 10 people and I listed those names and I would say, who are these? They're all DJs. How the fuck can they all be DJs? One makes $100,000 a show. One makes $70 an hour. How is this the same thing?
Wow, yeah.
There's a lack of definition, right? When you tell me basketball player, I'm a professional basketball player. That means you're in the NBA. There's a standard, there's qualifications that make you different than the NCAA basketball player, which makes it different than the high school basketball player, which makes you different than the boys and girls club basketball player.
Yeah.
Yes, you all are playing basketball, but you are different humans at different levels of this industry.
Yeah.
The DJ industry does not have this. At a certain point, I think it did, right? You were either a hard ticket selling act, Diplo.
Right.
You were a travel open format DJ, a Conflict, an E-Rock, right? These type of guys, a Chizzle. Or you're a local working DJ, a Zilla, etc. Or you're a legit working DJ at those more local bars. There has to be like travel DJ, working DJ, beginner DJ. Like there has to be something that defines who is where in this journey. Because if not, if I'm looking at it then as a client, if I'm booking these 5 of the same people, why do I pay that guy more?
Yeah.
And so now what we're doing is we're chasing the rates to the floor instead of trying to drag the rates to the ceiling.
That's what's happening, man.
It's, well, if you're all the same, I'll take the $70 an hour guy because he's willing to play here for that. And my guests don't know any different.
Right.
And then nightclubs are closing. More event space type places like the Wharf are opening. The $70 an hour DJ is fine for those places. You don't need the nightclub guy.
Yeah.
But if there was a way to prove and to define, yeah, but when you book this type of talent, your sales go up 18%, right? If there was a way to quantify and justify this, well, then now to a client, yeah, I'll pay a little more because that guy makes me more money.
Yep.
And I don't know if it's a lack of definition, lack of standards, or lack of tools. And I think it's D, all of the above, right? But as an industry, I think we all need to do better.
I think
and we
so as
all
well.
have to like figure out a way to constantly raise standards because it's the only way that an industry grows. Without competition, you're dead.
For sure.
You don't want to do better if you're already winning.
Exactly, and that's why a lot of these like older DJs get comfortable, man.
Mm-hmm.
They get very comfortable because they built their relationships and all that, but they're not really, to go back to just like the AM, they're not really standing out because they're not somebody for the younger DJs to really look up to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And I think that's going to be a huge issue 10 years from now.
For sure.
I'm already seeing it. Anybody you book that's less than 25 years old, their idea of a good DJ is a hard ticket producer.
Exactly, yeah.
That's not the fucking definition of a DJ.
Yeah.
Like those guys are going up there playing their own music for 90 minutes, normally pre-recorded, type of playlist.
Yup.
They're going song to song to song, hands up. You're here to hear me. You're not here to hear me, the DJ.
Yep.
You're here to hear me, the brand, the producer.
And they're not playing for the crowd, they're just playing their set.
Correct. It's like going to a Madonna concert. You're hearing Madonna. You know what I mean? Like, so Diplo is not a DJ. Diplo is a performer.
Yeah.
And we have to kind of do better making sure that we label these people like this, right? Because Diplo doesn't do much DJing. He
Right.
does a lot of performing.
Right.
Right? So in this industry that we're on then, let's throw some value out. What's a cool story? What's something that you've been through or seen, whether it's on the road or celebrity? You can leave the name out if you want, or include it. Give us a Chizzle story.
A story? Well, I would say one of the most memorable stories on my DJ journey was I DJ for Future's birthday.
Okay. Where was that?
This was at Dare.
Okay.
And this was a few years ago. 2-3 years ago now. And that was one of the most memorable nights because he wasn't booked as a performer. He wasn't booked as a host. It was his birthday party.
Oh, sick. So he was there hanging.
Like, yeah, so it was like paid to just not even touch the microphone or whatever. And they tapped me on the shoulder. Clear everybody out of the booth. Everybody's got to go in an instant. I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, yo, what's
You
going
almost
on?
left.
Yeah,
You're like, oh shit, wait, I'm DJing.
Yeah. So then they go, Future wants to come to the booth. And I'm like, oh, damn, that's crazy. So then he literally walks up, daps me up. Nobody in the booth, just me, him, and like his main people or whatever. And then he's standing next to me just like vibing. And then
No pressure, right?
Nothing. So I'm just like, I would say that's one of my strong points is I know how to move in these situations. I'm very comfortable being with like celebrities and how to just like be cool with them.
Yep.
Which is a main thing that a lot of these younger DJs need to learn. You know
it
what
matters
I mean?
big time.
Just how to make these people your peer. You know what I'm saying? So then like they're rocking with you as a friend versus like
they gotta feel comfortable.
Exactly. So then Future standing next to me is
well, think about
out.
it, man. Not to cut off your story, but how uncomfortable must it be to be extremely famous like that?
Yeah.
You can't take a shit in the bathroom without the guy going, yo, I think Future's taking a shit in there. You know, like,
exactly.
It's gotta be super annoying.
Exactly. But he's just like vibing next to me, hanging out. And then he like whispers to me and he's like, what's the hottest song out right now? And this is when Way Too Sexy just came out.
Okay, yeah, and that was a thing.
The hottest song. So I go, bro, I'm not even gonna lie, Way Too Sexy. And I had the mic right here, and I like tapped him on the leg like that, and I played Way Too Sexy. He grabs the mic from my hand and he starts performing. Granted, he was not paid to perform or go on a mic or anything, so he starts performing. And dude, everybody's going crazy. Everybody's taking photos, videos, and
that's sick,
that was a very memorable moment.
That's amazing. There's certain DJs that are like really good at that, and I remember specifically more of my promoter days that you would book certain DJs when you had an artist, because you're like, yo, I'm paying him for a hosting. But like maybe if you do it right, he'll perform one of his songs, right? And you do like, you know, somebody I'll shout out for that is Entice. Entice kind of always gets those looks, and he has the relationships from the radio station,
exactly,
right? And he knows how to like move in that booth that way.
And that's key, and that's why building the relationships is super key, because it's like then you build that relationship. And then the artist will even show up to your events, like texting you, being like, yo, where you at? Mm-hmm. Like, and this happens to me a lot. Like, if they're in Miami and they hit me up and they'll just like come through to like Hyde Beach or something like that for free, just to hang out.
Yeah, they feel comfortable.
Yeah, and that's why building relationships is key. And it's not networking. It's building genuine relationships.
On the Zaya episode, we got deep in like politicking. Right? Like politics.
Yeah.
And how like quick it is to get lost in the sauce of like faking it almost, right?
For sure.
And you could get by a little bit with it, but eventually it's just like, no, like you said, right? You could see right through it on Instagram. You could see right through even more in real life, you know?
I think especially with 2024 and everybody's been getting exposed in every avenue, I really think this is what's happening, is that like we went through that fake social media phase where everybody like, you know, just all the fake stuff. But I feel like we could see right through that now, and it's going to go back to just like rocking with who's real, who's humble, who has good morals, good standards, you know, who has just the best character. Like, that's just like the people that I want to be around right now. You know what I mean?
Who do you want to call if you were just calling somebody you wanted to shoot the shit with? If that person is also now someone you call to do business with, home run, bro. It doesn't feel like a job. Like, we're just having fun together and doing shit organically. And that's the way life, I think, is supposed to work. So that's cool. So we were talking about crazy story. The Future story definitely is one that you will stand out, right?
For sure.
For a long time to come, per se.
Yeah.
And a lesson to come from that story is be prepared by being prepared, you know, for those scenarios where you could have been like, oh shit, Future's standing next to me. Fucking selfie. Future's in the building. DJ Chizzle drop. You know, and then it's like, Future's like in the back of your camera, like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You know, like, and he ain't hitting you up again after that. And he's running out of the booth probably.
with anything in life, and especially this term goes for DJing, read the room.
Read the room.
Read the room in every atmosphere, man.
So I want to transition then into something that I think the industry glorifies, but it's not always that glamorous. And that is being a travel DJ, right? Actually traveling, and it looks cool on paper, but flying 15 hours a week sucks after a while, right?
Yeah,
so
bro.
you want to talk about like what's one thing that is more difficult for a DJ to accomplish on the road versus a local DJ?
Man.
And you don't have to limit it to one thing, but just what's something or things that come to mind that is just harder on the road?
I'll just put it like this. So I was on 6 flights in the past 10 days.
Nice.
So that's 6 in 10 days. I would say just establishing a routine. And for me, more important than DJ, music, anything, my number one priority is health. Because your health, everything else is under that. Your health is number one. You know what I mean? And when you're on the road, you do lack the ability to establish a healthy routine.
Yep.
Meaning, I went a few of those nights literally on no sleep. Like, I'm talking about like from the club to get out at 4 to go back, shower, pack my bag, and then I'm actually just like sleeping on the airplane.
Right.
So you do lack a lot of routine for health purposes. Say if you want to wake up early, you want to get in the sun, you want to meditate, you want to work out. Like, it's definitely, if you want something, you'll make the time. And like, I make the time, but you still do lack a lot of sleep.
Sure.
A lot of the ability to create your own routine when you have to be at the airport by 6 a.m.
And the flights are different. You're flying in the morning one day, you're flying at 4 p.m. another day, and you got it all mixed up. I think one thing that really meant, I got a super terrible gut. You know, my GI is just, backed up all the time. And to me, it throws the routine up where like you can't really eat right? You're kind of eating
1,000%.
You're eating when you can, not when you like want to or have to.
Yep.
You're eating whatever you have access to, not necessarily what you want to put in your body, right?
Yep.
Like local, here I'm always meal prepping, protein shakes, green shakes, all types of weird shit. And I went to, I went on a trip with my parents and my significant other not too long ago, a couple weeks ago. I was in England, Iceland, Scotland, a bunch of, we did some weird shit for a while. And we were out there 3.5 weeks. Dude, I came back 11 pounds lighter. I felt like shit. I looked like shit because my workout schedule wasn't an everyday thing like it is here. I couldn't take my shakes and my powders. I mean, I took a little bit of protein powder, but it looks a little suspect in your bag,
It's not the same vibe.
It's not the same. So I love that you pointed all that out. You see, that's a real answer. I feel like other DJs would be like, it's harder to X, Y, and Z, but it's not like a realistic answer. It's a DJ answer. And I think as an industry, we got to get more realistic, right? Like if you need to buy a bottle of water locally, you're buying them in a 32 pack for 40 cents each. If you need a bottle of water at the airport, it's $8.
Facts.
Right? So it's like all these things need to be taken into consideration, not just the picture you're going to get for Instagram on the road.
Exactly.
Right? Like, and other DJs that should be getting paid more and now can't because younger DJs are taking less money for the experience or the opportunity. And then in reality, it's kind of messing up the standard of what a travel DJ should be.
For sure.
We go back to the standard issue for sure.
For sure.
Cool. So I want to move on now to business talk.
For sure.
What are some of the things that you like and what are some of the things you don't like about being in the DJ business? We'll start with what are a few things that you like. What it really sticks out as like the, I wake up and it gets the drive going because I know I'm gonna be able to do XYZ today.
I'm gonna think on this for a second.
Take your time. We'll cut out the pause of thinking if need be.
I'm gonna say the number one thing that I love about my life and lifestyle is my freedom.
Okay.
Is that on majority of days, unless I have a flight or unless it's like showtime, you have the ability to move on your own time. And you got to move on your own time as much as you can. I could wake up when I want. If I want to wake up at 9 a.m., dude, I go to the gym when all the retired folks are there.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going grocery shopping on a Tuesday afternoon when the store is dead empty.
Yep.
I'm off the roads at 5 p.m. when there's traffic everywhere. So basically, I would say the freedom to do what I want when I want. And that is the most beautiful thing in life.
100%.
I can go visit my parents literally tomorrow. I could take a flight and go see them. Most people have jobs and vacations and they only have 2 days off a week. My life is a vacation. Like, I don't consider this work by any means.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like I love what I do and I love that I get to do things on my own time.
I love that. And there's some learning there, right? Because I know at least for me, looking at two entrepreneurs having a conversation, not a DJ and a DJ agency, but just two entrepreneurs, making your own schedule is amazing when you get it down. But when you don't know what your schedule is, it bites you in the ass, right? How many days growing up were you like, I got to do X, Y, Z. I could do X today and Y tomorrow. Fuck it, I'm on my own schedule, right? And then tomorrow something comes about and you're like, oh shit, I don't have time for Y, and then forget Z, I'm not even getting to that, right? And now you're not ready for that opportunity that might come at 4 o'clock on a random phone call.
Yup.
Right? Oh, what time do I gotta be there? Fuck, I put this thing off yesterday, now I gotta do this thing today, and I didn't do the other thing. Bro, I'm not gonna be able to make it tonight, man, but you think I could play tomorrow instead? Hello? Damn, they clicked on me. I guess tomorrow's not an option, right?
Yeah.
You blew it. You're not ready for the opportunity. So I wanted to add that because it was something that I learned along the way of my entrepreneur journey. It's a blessing, but it could be a curse.
It's a blessing and it's a curse where you need to have that self-discipline and consistency.
Yes,
because
consistency
there's
is
also there's also the flip side of it where, yeah, I'm on my own schedule, so I'm gonna sleep in till 2 p.m.
Right.
And now I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna be sitting on my phone on Instagram, BSing around.
And good luck going to sleep at 10 p.m. like a regular human now because you woke up at 2. So now it's 1 a.m. and you're fucking up trying to figure out what to do when everyone else is sleeping. So you can't do anything.
So the key is just to have that self-discipline. And for me, I would say that's my strongest point is my routine and just...
You think that came from your school regiment?
I would say so, man, because the way that I always saw it was, dude, if I can wake up and spend 8 hours on something that I'm not even liking to do and put my time and effort into it, imagine if I wake up and spend that 8 hours into something I'm passionate about and myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then that 8 hours turns into 12 and who cares?
Right.
Where the 8-hour job turns into 12, where's my overtime? The fuck? I don't want to be doing this.
Exactly.
I love that. As far as DJ Chizzle's departments, are you currently basically doing everything? In that sense, is like, you know, Chizzle's accounting. That's you, essentially, right? That's,
For sure.
Chizzle's outreach. That's essentially you. I mean, I'm sure there's some bookers here and there that you have a working relationship with and throw you work, but it's like, you know, DJ Chizzle is the company. It's not like the DJ that belongs to this company that does everything for you, right? And I want to kind of unpack that. Well, first of all, do you enjoy all that?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, because I'm a very hands-on person and my personality is if I can't have somebody do something better than I can do it, then I'd rather and I'd want to do it myself.
Right.
So I do have people that help me in like certain avenues, like shout out to my buddy Gavin. He makes my merch.
Okay.
Like he's one of the best merch people in the country.
That's
You
a
know what I
rare
mean?
name. Does he live in Tallahassee?
No, he's from Orlando too.
There's 2 Gavins. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
And then it's like I have like people that do my graphics and stuff like that for me. But majority of like the like say accounting, the outreach and all that, that's me hands-on.
That's
for sure.
amazing. So 10 years ago, a DJ worked their ass off to get part of like a scam,
Exactly.
right? Like you were working your way into being added value or valuable for Sujit to say, hey, I think I could do something that would make your career better. Let me take on XYZ. It's going to charge you ABC, and let's start a working relationship this way.
Right.
And then that turned into the norm. That was the standard. If you were not on an agency, you're whack.
Yep.
Then like the Vice transition started happening where Vice leaves Scam. And I remember at the time, everybody was like, oh, Vice is fucked. Why would he do that? Like all his Vegas dates are going to disappear. All his this, all his that. Like what the fuck? And then you know, obviously looking from the outside in, you don't know that looking at the inside out, Vice had outgrown the need of having an agency, and Vice grew into a lane of needing a Vice agency, a team for DJ Vice.
Right.
Right. And so I guess the question becomes, is that the new norm? Right? Is that the new standard? Because I'm seeing less and less desire for people to be on an agency and more desire for DJs to want to get booked by all agencies.
For sure.
Where agencies are almost looked at as bookers now, not a talent agency.
Yeah.
What would you agree, disagree, and like?
I would agree 1,000%.
What's your take on that?
Because the thing is that like, and I'll use myself as the example, is that I have the real genuine relationship with all of the bookers, like on a personal level.
Right.
Where it's like, we're like actually cool and it's like people that I want to work with and do things with. You know what I mean? So it's like I build that relationship what's the point of them? What's the point of me being like, oh, hit up so-and-so who's going
Right.
to contact you? It's like, nah, Chiz, we just like, we want to hang out with you. That's why we're booking you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, let's go grab dinner. It's like those texts, those, you know, so many bookers. It was my birthday last week, and like all the bookers were like showing me super love. You know what I mean? Because it's like we've built that genuine relationship, and it cuts out that middleman where it's like the third party involved. Like you're just dealing with people hands on, just like in real life, man.
Have you ever had a situation where you wanted to tell somebody something, but you couldn't say exactly what you wanted to say because it would be coming from you, the homie?
For sure.
I'll give you the example. Hey, Chizzle, bro, fam, what's up, my dude? Hey, I need a favor, man. I need you to fly to Japan. I got an $800 budget. And now you're in a situation where you're like, fuck, I want to tell this guy I need $2,500 or I'm not going to do it. But he also books at this club in Texas, and I don't want to look like an asshole. So, all right, fuck it. I'm flying to Japan for $800. In that situation, I think an agent is...
That's where the agents are needed for
and,
sure.
And I, you know, something I want to point out is I think the same way there's a definition and standard issue on the talent side,
Yeah.
I think there's a definition and stigma on the business side of things, mostly because the way business has traditionally been done in this industry.
For sure.
But we are identifying how much it's changing on the talent side, and I'm yet to see a lot of agencies change on the business side. So, for example, the homie booker that wants to be friends with you and is friends with you, and you have that organic, real relationship with, the old definition of an agent was, oh, you want to book me? Cool, hit up my agent,
Yep.
right?
100%.
You're dead in the water if that's how you act today.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hit up your agent that they don't know. They're
Yeah.
talking to you, the guy they know. But if the approach is more like, yo, my homie, fucking, this sounds great, dude. $800 in Japan? Bro, this fucking sounds good, man. I want to do you the favor. However, I'm under contract. And so my agent has to facilitate the booking. I'm not going to pass them on to you. I'm not going to just tell you to, like, no, hold on. Let me make a group chat or let me send out this email. Hey, agent, meet Tim, my buddy, the booker. He does X, Y, and Z. He offered $800 for this gig in Japan. I don't know if I'm available. I don't know if I'm possible to do this. You know, agent, take it from here. And now the agent could chime in and say, hey, Tim, nice to meet you. Chizzle has said amazing things about you. So now you're Batman and Robin, right?
Yeah.
You're not Batman by yourself and fuck Robin. No, you're Batman and Robin. It's mom said no, go ask dad, right? Like it's the
Right.
mom and dad. It's you have to have the good and bad, right? And I feel like the stigma of the industry is preventing bookers from having great relationships with agents that are actually there to make their job easier, not more difficult.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
Because
Facts.
I've also seen like the DJ wants to do everything himself and hands-on, and you're my homie, so I'm gonna handle this. And now it's like, yo, brother, I'm on 6 flights in the next 10 days. You're gonna have to wait 2 weeks for my contract. I don't have
Yeah.
time to write it.
For sure.
Right? Or yeah, let's pencil it in, but I'll get back to you in 2 weeks when I come back from this run, right? And now you hit them up. If you're actually on point and remember, you hit him up 2 weeks later, and the guy's like, bro, my bad, Judge, Chizzle, I had to put the lineup together. We'll get you in for February, but the December date's gone.
Yeah.
Fuck, right? Like you missed that opportunity.
That's
So,
where help is needed for sure.
100%.
You know what I mean?
And then we run into the issue of like, well, what's the value of that help, right? And then you start looking at like, you have to be a professional in that world because not just anybody can have that conversation the right way either, right?
sure.
You might make it look stupid as fuck. And you can't do that and risk the relationship of the talent, right? So you have to know, read the room, right? When
Read
to
the
push,
room.
when to pull, when to do these type of things. But I think it's also the stigma of how agents typically work, right?
Yep.
If Tim is your agent, Tim gets X percentage of your career. And he's your agent, and you have a working relationship that's exclusive, and figure it out. In 2024, I don't think the word exclusive exists. I don't think, if it's exclusive, it's because the opportunity is so spot on for you that there's a value in you making yourself exclusive.
Yeah.
Right? But there should be a world, and this is, selfishly plugged, there should be a world where the agent is looked at as a service, right? DJ Chizzle gets booked as a DJ to perform a service, play music in a way that's going to make my crowd have a great night and spend money. Period.
Right.
That's your job. As an agent, I think your job is to do whatever is needed at the moment based on your service.
Yes.
So the homie from insert city here that gives you your dates 6 months in advance and pays you cash night of, you don't even need to invoice, and it's like this super easy relationship. Well, why the fuck would you give 1%, much less 20% of that booking to anybody, right? But then this other guy that you're cool with, but he kind of tries to throw in that little under the rug every time, but we can't pay for hotel this time. Wow, what the fuck, right? Like that guy, you almost need dad to step in now and be like, hey, I want to stay mom. I want to stay cool with this guy. I don't want to tell him to go fuck yourself, but maybe you can tell him to go fuck yourself in a nice way.
Exactly, and let somebody do the negotiating for you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? To get you that little extra money, and extra leeway, flight, hotel.
I see it even more important in private events, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of private events come from people's own Rolodex. My sister's friend is getting married. She needs a DJ.
Yep.
Right? Well, your sister's friend also knows, little Chizzle from 20 years ago. So Chizzle to your sister's friend is like $600. We're straight for a wedding, right?
Yeah.
And now if Chizzle says yes, you undervalued yourself and you're an idiot.
To the max, yeah.
And if you say no, oh my God, Chizzle's got in his head so big. Who the fuck does this guy think he is? So it's a lose-lose. Yep. What answer makes you win? But if you can introduce your agent and say, hey, Samantha, I'd love to do your sister's wedding. Little Tanya is like a sister to me. We grew up together. However, this is a business and I only have so many Fridays a year to work. 52 exactly, if you want to be exact. So I need to introduce, so-and-so, my agent, which on paper, he has rights to my dates, not me.
Right.
So it's completely up to him, but I'm going to let him know that I really want to do this.
Boom. So then you're the good guy and then you have somebody handling it for it to make sense for you.
Bingo. And you know what your call right after Samantha is? To your agent, and you go, fuck no.
Yep.
$600, suck a nut. No chance. And then you send Samantha a text and you say, hey, Samantha, I spoke to my agent. He's going to hit you up. I think it's going to work. And then let dad step in and go, no, you're grounded. You can't go out, right?
Yep.
Like, no, unfortunately, 600 won't cut it. I do have this working DJ. If that's what your budget is, I can help facilitate a good DJ for you.
It's keeping that clean face, man.
But if you want Chizzle, it's $3,000. It is what it is.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And now, even if they don't end up getting Chizzle and they get a working DJ that they didn't know, and the DJ does a good job, well, everybody looks good because it was still what the person wanted. And in their mind, Chizzle's brand and value just grew times 6. Now they know you're a $3,000 DJ. They're not assuming that you think you're a $3,000
right.
DJ. So I always, have these combos with DJs offline, and this is the first time that I'm able to do it in front of the camera.
I love it.
And I kind of wanted to pinpoint these pain points that I think DJs have, where it's like they need a service, but they don't need it all the time.
Exactly.
Whether it's an agent or a graphic designer or a video guy, like, hey, I need a video guy, but only when I'm local. I can't give you a monthly retainer. I don't know how many gigs I'll have next month here.
Yeah.
Or on the road, this guy in Texas does my videos. He wants me to be on a retainer. I don't know when I go back to Texas, right? So you need to be able to work with people.
Flexible.
And that requires everyone, not just the DJ or the agency, to look at it as an entrepreneur role. Because now we can all work with each other in a way where we're all getting added value.
Right.
And we're all at a table that is exchanging, value and opportunities, not just, all right, I closed the deal. Now I'm making money off that guy forever. Fuck it.
Yep.
Right? And now it's like, yo, where's your gigs, dude? Like, where's the people that you want me to talk to? Well, what the fuck, bro? Where's your gigs? Like, everything on the calendar was me.
Yeah.
And now it's not that team at the table talking about growth. It's 2, 3, 4 people at the table talking about what the fuck did you do?
Damn, yeah.
No shit.
You're hitting this on the head, bro.
No shit. The industry's going, down in the sense of value and rates and things. No one's acting like a business.
Yeah, because everybody's blaming each other, not taking accountability.
There's zero accountability, man. This industry scares me.
Right.
And I think it comes from the hospitality industry having some of these same issues. So that manager you're talking to is dealing with all of this with his bartenders and the owner that calls him the bitch at him, but he's never there, right? Like these scenarios is happening. So
stemming from the top down, man.
Always, man. So I'll transition this into, do you think everyone's built to be an entrepreneur? The things that you do on a day-to-day basis.
Not
right?
at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. Because it just goes with, to be a good entrepreneur, you have to be a leader.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You got to lead yourself first.
Yeah, because what we were saying before is you have to have that discipline to move on your own time properly, how to conduct yourself, and you're leading yourself. So there's a lot of people that aren't good at that. So they're better off just like working under others.
Yes.
But like for this world, we are our business, and everything we do impacts us and our business. So you have to conduct yourself properly at all times.
Absolutely, dude. I can't say that anymore. I one of the reasons I'm doing this podcast is I feel like 20 years ago, if you chose to be an entrepreneur, you knew what you were signing up for. Like,
for sure.
It's torture lane, bro. We're going down the shit road and we're gonna fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's almost like glorified. And I really would want people to hear like this, like, yo, it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
It is.
Making your own schedule is not easy.
Yeah.
Waking up at 9 because you have to and want to is not the same than waking up at 9 because if you don't go to work by 10, you're fired.
Right.
Right? Like there's a different type of fuck you in you that you need.
What we do, it is 24/7.
Yes.
So yeah, we have a lot of free time, but there's never a free time. Because what I mean is, if somebody important is hitting you up, you need to be ready. And it goes back to before, just like stay ready. You don't have to get ready. So it's like you need to be ready at all times. Like if I'm going to get a text that can you DJ at Live on a Tuesday at 10 a.m. for this Saturday, I'm not missing that text.
Right.
Because if you miss that text, man, somebody else is going to do that and you just missed out on a huge event. So it's 24/7, man. You know what I mean? And not everybody's built for that.
I agree. You got a built Ford tough out here, right?
Yeah.
Like, and so that's what I always point out. Like the intrapreneur role is real cool, right? That number 2 guy. If you are a driving force, but you want to be able to turn this shit off, look for an intrapreneur role. Like look for a number 2 role in a company that's someone else's problem.
Exactly.
And then make that company the best place ever. And then ask for a piece of it.
Yep.
And like that's how business works, right? So I don't think enough people are being told that.
Yeah.
Be your own boss, make your own schedule, check out my Lamborghini, rah, rah, rah. Yeah, fuck off. This isn't that cool, dude. You know what I mean? Like I'm on 0 sleep, I'm on my 5th flight, I'm trying to figure out the fucking this and that. Like it's not that cool when you look at it with the curtains off.
Right.
Be aware, it's not that cool.
Yep.
Now it could be very cool if you're willing to put in that torture. Right,
Yep.
but people need to hear that. So, as we get to the end of our sit down, you know, relatively the end, I have a couple more questions for you, and these are all for the listener. I feel like the whole sit down today has been for the listener, which is amazing. But for all the future DJs out here listening, this can be a bedroom DJ that just got his first controller. Or this can be someone that does about 3 to 4 gigs a month at a local bar and is really having the aha moment that they want to take it serious. What are some words of advice on things they can do to be better prepared?
Man, the quote is, how you move in one way is how you move in every way.
Okay.
And that's with everything in life. So if you're a younger DJ, the way you show up, the way you speak to others, the way you present yourself on social media, the way you dress, like are you gonna smell the part too? Is your breath good? Like just everything matters.
Yes.
Everything matters.
Walk the walk, talk the talk, everything.
So it's like if you're gonna meet a DJ that you're gonna that's older than you and you wanna network with and grow with, don't treat them like a superstar. Treat them with respect.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go and introduce yourself. Look them in the eyes. Shake the hand firmly. Just be like, look, give him his flowers. Look, I embrace you. I look up to you. My name's so-and-so. And just be authentic. Another thing, don't gossip about anybody. No gossip, no hate, no jealousy, no envy. Everybody's on their own path. Don't look like, why's he got that gig? Why does that person get that opportunity? Why that person? It's all up to God. God does everything for a reason, and just embrace your own path. So stay focused on yourself. Don't look at other people's plate.
Love that,
you
man.
know what I mean?
That's another one of our codes, our 10 codes. Another one is don't worry about what anyone else is doing.
Yeah.
You know, figure out what you're doing and then do it real well.
And that's with everything in life. Everything you do when you wake up, you need to just like focus on yourself and being the best version of yourself. And then another thing to go on top of this is finding your purpose.
Okay.
Your purpose, like not the other guy's purpose, not the person that you think is cool or is Insta famous or whatever, or got the money in the cars. No, focus on you. What is your exact purpose on this earth?
I agree big time, man. And the second point that you spoke about right before the purpose, I feel like that goes back to the accountability issue. It's not, oh, bro, how come that guy got that opportunity? The question needs to be, what did that guy do better than me to get that opportunity so I could improve?
Right.
But I didn't get that. So there's a reason why I didn't get it.
Yeah.
What is that reason so I can fix it?
Exactly, man.
Right?
And where in today's world, a lot of people give off like gossip and bicker and hate and jealousy, but like all those traits are just very demonic traits.
Yes.
And
you get what you put out.
Yeah,
so if you put out
exactly.
hate, then you're gonna get hate.
And that's the karma, because it's like it happens. Like a lot of in this DJ world, a lot of people gossip and they talk about others, but the whole point is that whole time you're just wasting like your thoughts and your mind and
your bandwidth,
your whole aura. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just give off and feed positivity into the earth, and it will come back to you.
It's funny. So I this was a different industry, had nothing to do with DJs. But I was told once, and it stuck with me forever. Have you ever heard someone talk shit by themselves?
Wow.
So what does that mean? When you're negative and you talk shit and you're that guy in the room, you seem to gravitate to other negative and terrible, minded people.
Facts.
And before you know it, now you're feeding negativity to each other. And the positive guy that you're probably talking shit about, he's out, figuring out how to be better, how to do this, how to do that.
How to win.
And you guys are out there talking about his wins.
Exactly.
The fuck are we talking about?
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
man.
Like,
yeah.
No one wants to be miserable alone, right? So
exactly, man.
You get that little group, and then it's like those group chats you hear about, and you're like, yeah, no shit, the 7 of those guys are in the chat. They're all fucking miserable fucking DJs talking shit about other DJs doing things.
And with like, your time is everything, because we only have like such a limited amount of time in life. So it's like, with that time that you're feeding negative vibes into the air, you can be on your Ableton, learning how to produce, learning how to create, thinking of the new photo shoot idea to be innovative.
How are you going to add value so that the next guy doesn't get that gig again?
Exactly.
What am I going to do better than that guy? Not, oh, I know I'm better than that guy. Fuck, I should have gotten that, not him. Well, you fucking didn't, so there has to be a reason for it.
Yeah.
What's that reason? And then work on that, and it'll change.
Exactly, man.
Right?
Couldn't have said that better.
Awesome. Chizzle, so 2 rapid questions, not necessarily conversation points, but the fact that you're a collegiate DJ, right? Coming from the college space, is there, a number 1 book out there that you would say, hey, young Chizzle, read this shit, man. You'll thank me later.
Man, right off rip, because I read a lot of books, but number 1 is the Bible. Read the Bible.
Nice. I have not gotten that answer. That's very cool. So Catholic school my whole life. So naturally we went through the Bible in the setting. But I've actually had that urge of like, I want to read it as a book, right? Which it's a book, right?
Yeah.
It's not a textbook. It's just, it gets presented that way in school. But if you read it for the stories, I feel like there's a lot of value there that I've never gotten it.
Every single day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So my second rapid question, why are you in this journey that we call business? What about it keeps you in it? My go-to is always like, to me, I wake up every day knowing that I'm gonna get kicked in the mouth.
Yeah.
You gotta be some type of sick-minded fuck to like wake up knowing you're gonna lose your teeth today and be excited. Hell yeah! Can't wait to fucking deal with all these problems that are about to come out. Like,
man.
So what about it? Does it keep you in the business journey? Like, why are you still in it as a business? As a DJ, I get it, but as a business.
Because a few things. It coincides with my purpose. My purpose in life is to inspire others.
Nice.
That's why I was put on this earth, is to feed out inspiration and show people that you can kind of come from nothing and you can make it to the top of whatever craft that you're in by just being yourself and sticking to your roots and keeping good character and remaining humble.
Be yourself, focus on yourself, be a good person, and work on being better.
And the thing is that I don't have to do this.
Right.
Like we say this whole time, like I've got my doctorate degree. I don't need to be doing this. I do it out of love. I do it out of passion. I do it because I'd probably do it for free.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I could see you doing 60 hours as a pharmacist and then doing like 2 gigs a week locally. Like I could see that vibe for you, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, but it's what I'm passionate about. And I like inspiring others, putting a smile on other people's faces. And we could be doing stuff that isn't as joyous. You know what I mean? So I love what I do, and I eat, breathe, and sleep it. So I love my life, man.
I say often, I love what I do and I do what I love.
Amen.
You know, and you can't ask for anything better in life.
Amen to that, bro.
Fuck yeah, dude. So, Chizzle, plug in your socials. DJs out there, definitely check out his Instagram. Check out how he presents himself as a brand. Like the flowers I gave him earlier, he does this amazingly.
Thank you, brother.
So please let people know where they can find you, where they can connect with you, and most importantly, your Instagram for DJs to check out.
It's all at DJ Chizzle. You can find it pretty much on every social media network, and it's pretty much just that. And
amazing. Any super big shows coming up in December?
Man, I'm just starting like a new tour right now, so I'm pretty much all over the country.
Sick.
Doing, of course, Miami, hometown, best city in the world.
Hell yeah.
I gotta put it like that.
Sure is.
New York, Nashville, Scottsdale, Charleston, Charlotte, pretty much all over Florida.
Sick.
Yeah.
You still go to UC Orlando?
I'm going to Orlando in December, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm excited, man.
That's fucking sick.
Really excited.
Back to the stomping grounds.
Really excited, man.
Well, dude, I fucking enjoyed this conversation tremendously. I'm sure we'll have you back in a few months,
sure.
and we can kind of unpack things as they get brought up on the show.
For sure.
Or on the
I want to say
podcast,
one thing,
whatever
too.
the fuck it would be.
I said this off air before. I want to give you your flowers right now, bro.
Awesome, man.
Like, this is just coming from my heart. Like, you feed off very, very good, positive energy. Every single time I see you, man, it's just like, you make me smile, bro.
Sick.
Like, and that's very, very key in life, in anything you do. Like, you really give off a good aura, bro. So I just wanted to give you flowers, bro.
I really appreciate that. Even more that it gets noticed, because it's not easy, like, giving off that energy always.
Yeah.
And most of the time, well, it's always organic, but it's not always like what I would want to, you know, I have shit days too, you know,
Yeah.
and I just don't like people seeing those shit days.
Yeah.
So it's amazing to kind of hear that and know that it helps other people's days as well, right? Like making someone smile is amazing, man. It's
key,
like,
man.
You know, to be able to do that. So
Yeah.
it goes back to be a good fucking person, bro. Like
Amen,
things
bro.
will happen from that. So thank you for that, dude. And thank you for taking the time.
Love, brother. Thank you so much for having
being
me
with
too,
us.
man.
Hell yeah.